Hey there, Darkstar here. We're going to try another PC-12 pressurization test. See if we can see what some people are saying where it's still failing. One thought is maybe it has to do with if you're climbing too fast. Maybe they're engaging low cab too late. I don't know. I'm just going to give it a try and see if we can reproduce the problem. Alright, so I went and bought a PC-12 just for this. Because I had sold them all back in the day when they broke them twice. Okay, so we're in charter. I don't want to do a 3-hour mission. I am going to sim raid anyway, but let's keep it as short as possible. It's going to be nighttime, isn't it? Let's see if we can catch a morning flight instead. There we go. I'm willing to move a little ways if we can. Okay, here's one that knows the weather at the other end. It's a 2-hour mission. Let's try that one. Of course, we always want to check our runways. Runway 24. Ample. Departure runways are always easy. It's the arrivals that are sometimes a problem. 3,000 feet. Okay, we are going to free cam. Thought that was a lake at first. Okay, it's pretty flat. It's pretty short. There's no trees or anything on the end, so we'll probably be okay. If it's 3,000 feet and there's trees on the end and there's a mountain right there, it can get a little sketchy. Let's not take a full load of fuel. I like that it pays you back for fuel. I suspect they're either going to get rid of that or break the add fuel button. Because it is possible to slowly, I'd rather fly, but you can slowly Get free fuel and then sell it. More power to anyone who's willing to sit there and do that. For what is essentially a single player game. Alright, we're just gonna skip everything here.
Just wanted to drop by and say hello before you leave for Lutkerch im Alga today with Madam Maitland on board. It's one of our best clients leaving for vacation with relatives. Well, it's about time. Provide her with the finest service. I know I can count on you. Have a nice trip. Farnborough ground. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65 with Mike. Ready to taxi. IFR.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65. Taxi 2 and hold short of runway. 2-4 using taxiway. Foxtrot Bravo. Contact tower on 122.78 when ready.
This does not bode well.
Taxi 2 and hold short runway 2 for using taxiway Foxtrot Bravo. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65.
Getting these warnings here. Let's see if they stop now. Generators are fluctuating. Maybe reset them.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board flight DSC-65 with service from Lutkerch im Alga to Lutkerch im Alga. We'll be shortly in line for takeoff. Please fasten your seatbelts and secure all baggage underneath your seat, and make sure your seats and table trays are in the upright position for takeoff. Please switch all personal electronic devices, including laptops and cell phones, to airplane mode. This is a non-smoking flight. Thank you for choosing Radiant Airways. Enjoy your flight.
Okay, we're gonna try to skip here. I don't know why it doesn't just teleport you. Like, why does it have to do this? I'll just be right back where we started from.
Farnborough Tower, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65, ready for IFR departure, runway 24.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65, QNH 1029er. Cleared for takeoff runway 24. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65, acknowledge last transmission.
I'm hitting enter.
Clear for takeoff runway 24, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65. Ladies and gents, this is First Officer Wade speaking. Estimated flight time to Lutkerch-Amalgau is 1 hour 36 minutes. We remind you to keep your seatbelt fastened. Thank you for your attention, and let's have a great flight.
We're on a huge runway. We don't need the whole thing. Ah, shoot! I forgot to set our altitude. I wasn't paying attention either. Okay, I guess it'll be a surprise. We'll climb up anyway. So I'm gonna try and just go for it and see what happens. Okay. We're gonna arm auto throttle. We will start off on runway heading maybe. Probably doesn't help us much. We'll figure out our arrival when we get up in the air.
V1, rotate.
Gears up, flaps are up. Climb to 4,300. No, that's not gonna happen.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65 contact London Center on 118.475. Good day.
Okay, we've hit the low cab button.
118.475 for Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65. London Center, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65 is at 1,400 feet climbing flight level 430.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65, London Center, QNH 1029er, radar contact. Continue to LFW02. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65. Keep speed not above 210 knots.
Keep speed not above 210 knots. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65.
Uh-oh. Look at that. It thinks we're a rocket. I wish I knew if in the real planes the autopilot would behave the same as these, or are the professional autopilots way better? That's something I would like to know. Because these seem pretty janky for some things.
Passing 10,000 feet. London Center, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65. Request flight, level tree 0.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65. Climb and maintain flight level tree 0. Keep speed not above 250 knots.
Climb and maintain flight level tree 0. Keep speed not above 250 knots. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65.
I wonder if we can just cancel IFR. Might screw up our final destination, but let's do it.
London Center, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65. Cancel IFR at this time.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 65. IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Going to go standard. Okay, we are climbing. So cabin altitude's a little over 2,000 and pressure differential's rising. I think it'll hit 5.75 and then the cabin altitude will start coming up. Probably should have put that on earlier. I just got the route up in Navigraph. Okay, there's 575. So 20,000 feet is where it used to fail. I used to always try to fly like at 199. Okay, now at some point here we are going to get a caution. and then we'll get a warning, and it'll go red. But what we don't want to see is a game alert, and if we do get a game alert, if it's temporary, that's fine. If it fails the mission, then we have a problem. Glad our electrical system is holding. I was a little worried about that when the generators were flickering. I did record and post a video of this just the other day, but people are saying they're still having problems with it. So I thought I'd record the whole flight. There's our caution, as promised. You'll get that every time. And as best I can tell from the manual, that's expected. I could be wrong. I'm not a professional pilot or anything, but... And then as we approach the limit, we'll get a warning. Might go back and watch at what cabin altitude we get that caution and warning. So it was 7,500.
Cabin.
So, but we used to go up to the top of Pikes Peak all the time, and it's 14,000 feet. Now, occasionally, even me, I would get a little altitude sick, and if you run around, you're in trouble if you're not used to being up that high. But like we would drive up there, hang out, have a bite. It was a common thing to do to take people up there. That's 14,000 feet. So being at 10,000 feet of cabin altitude isn't really going to hurt people that much. Okay, we're at 28,000 feet now. Getting ready to level off here. Coming up on 10,000 feet cabin altitude. That's the highest it's supposed to get, I think. And 30,000 feet is our ceiling. So if you're flying over 30,000 feet and getting an issue, then that's why. It's not that the plane can't fly at over 30,000 feet. Why did you fail me here? Now what we do want to do, and I talked about this the other day, you want to put 30,000 feet in here, right? And now your FMS speed should be whatever speed you enter here. Should have done that before, but okay, and we can see our cabin rate is just kind of flickering a little bit. We're at, you know, 9990, so I think even at 10,000, well, this says we're at 30,020 feet, so. Now, this is something I've noticed this thing doing lately.
Speed.
Why? I do not know. It is not working very well.
Speed.
Why is it still going up?
Speed. Speed. Speed.
So something in SU2 is kind of broken with the throttles. Like, it shouldn't just keep going. So I'm gonna get dinged for that. Not sure why that came on. Oh, and you know what? One thing, oh, maybe it doesn't apply to this one. But make sure your bleed air is auto. In the PC-12, there's a knob for setting bleed. You want to make sure you set that too. If your bleed air is off, then you won't get pressurization correctly. So I don't want to test it right now. I did have that problem once in the PC-12. I'd left the bleed off. See if it will stay where it's supposed to now. I wonder if anyone's reported that as a bug. So I don't know if anyone would be interested, but I'm working on a giant spreadsheet with all the planes. I'm trying to gather information about what equipment they have and what their capabilities are more than anything. And then also I started taking notes on career, so I think I have all the career stuff in now. There's a little bit more I need to get the caravan data. There is no caravan right now in SU3 beta, so I couldn't get that information, but I think I got it for everything else. But in the data I'm collecting so far, just for career, is the range and speed rating of all the planes that are in career, what mission types they're available in, like first flight, ferry flight, flight seeing, and then all of the other different missions, all the different cargo types, agricultural, passengers, charter private, charter VIP, all the different search and rescues, medevac, aero construction, and so forth, right? So I have the price for each type of plane in its mission category. And they are not the same. So like for the H-125 helicopter, for example, they are 1.9 million in flight seeing, 1.957 million for cargo hook, 2.102 million for agricultural, and then 2.151 million for hoist, and 1.9 million for search and rescue rotorcraft version. So the plane rescue one, not the hoist. So like I'm getting all that level of detail. Also for each type of mission, I got a range of payouts I've seen. I just kind of took a swag at it and rounded things a bit. That way you could kind of plan out which planes might be worth it based on the payouts in that category type. It's pretty sparse. I was kind of surprised. Of course, charter private has a lot, and charter overall has even more. So charter as a category has a lot. Cargo as a category has a lot. Flight seeing probably has the most, but it's like worthless. But I think, as expected, the biggest payout is passenger airline, right? Which I've seen up to 17 million. All right, let's get one notch of sim rate in here. Let's get our timer up. And we can maybe go 2 here. Let's get around this corner. I haven't seen a warning yet. If it popped up, it was brief. Okay, it's 4x. So I was thinking about making my spreadsheet available as a Google Doc. It has every plane on it. I have Aviator Edition, so it has all of the MS-2024 planes. It doesn't, of course, I mean, I don't have all third-party planes. I only have a small handful, but I do have those on there. But I don't have complete or in-depth data for those, really. Just, like I said, I was starting to collect the equipment data. So, like, unbeknownst to me, a GNS 530, the little cruddy GPS units that are in a lot of the planes, it can actually fly RNAV approaches with vertical guidance if you're in an area with SBAS coverage, like WAAS in the US or some of the other areas. It will not do it outside of those areas, unfortunately. Oh, we did get a warning. Is that because we flickered up for a moment? I guess we'll see if it fails here. We'll continue on. I wonder if the autopilot compensates for the wind in its calculations. Because it should know what angle it needs to bank at for how long to make the turn, even including the wind, and then make adjustments. You know, you calculate where you want to be, then you measure where you are, and you make adjustments to compensate. But it feels to me like it's doing it all from scratch every time. Like I'm just gonna make this turn and then I overshoot because of the wind or whatever. Alright, let's figure out where we're going. Runway 6, huh? So runway 6 only has a visual entry. We will activate that, delete the discontinuity. Oh, we did. It did fail. Okay, so that answers that question. It can still fail. Maybe it's fixed in Sim Update 3. Because I'm trying to think if I was on Sim Update 3 when I tested it. I don't think I was. I did switch to Sim Update 3 and then off. I'm back off now for sure. Because I wanted to go check out the... the caravan. Are there any caravans? I'm not crazy, right? There's no caravan here. What happened to the Cessna caravans? I know there was one in Skydive. Okay, there's one. So 5116. So the other thing I was doing to find which planes are what, aside from going to every company, is go into employee missions and see what you can find. And Sim Update 3, I did not find any Cessna Grand Caravans at all. So there it is in cargo, medical, parachute. Right. And let's see, it was cargo medium, right? Not agricultural. No aerial advertising. Nothing for passenger either. Or charter, right? Medevac, yes. Okay, so now I have medevac, cargo medium, skydive. Is that it? We want to go into companies. We want to go into like medical. Okay, 5126. I think I already have the 964 and 195 knots. Okay. let's go double check cargo. Cargo. There it is. I think I just missed it before. That's a cheap one. 4.8 million. I'm going to check on a couple of other weirdnesses I saw, which was okay. I don't know that I want to buy one right now, but I wasn't able to find cargo missions for the Saab in beta. I had it in my company and no missions would come up. But I don't think I want to buy one here right now because I don't really want to go back and fly cargo anyway. I don't want to waste 10 million on it. Just in case I decide to play something later. We can check employee mode though. So if we pick the Saab and we pick cargo, yeah, see, we don't see any missions in employee mode anyway in that combination. So that concerns me that it might not be working. See, another one was the SW121. Let me see missions for it, right? Do we see charter private? We do, right? There's like one. Wow, okay. I think that is the cheapest charter private plane. Of course, you can do like a 172 for 540,000, but this one's 483,000. And it is otherwise pretty similar to 172. So that's interesting. I wonder if it matters that I flew in employee mode when I tested it. Because I don't have a PC-12. I just bought that one for this test. So maybe. All right, well, I will stop claiming that it works, because sometimes it doesn't. And I think maybe I'll go take down the other video. Maybe I should just edit it. Failed while in cruise at flight level 300. Oh, hey there. So we were just testing the PC-12 pressurization thing, and it failed. So it alone is not safe. That's a bummer. You might have to translate that for me. Okay, other video is updated. Link to this one. I wonder where my sob is. Oh, they did one cool thing in the beta where when you're buying a plane and you're trying to pick an airport to place it in, you can see where the missions are. They're kind of grayed out, but you can see where they are. So that was cool. Let's see if we can do a short Vision Jet mission here. soaring, that tells me that's not going to be a good airport right there. Let's check the briefing. Okay, runway 9 is 4,000 feet, plenty of room. And this is an ILS, so that tells me it's going to be big enough to land on, no problem. Runway 6. I wonder what the shortest ILS runway is in the world. Okay, we need fuel. Let's do a checkup while we're at it. I wish they'd put that all on one page. It's ridiculous. And why do I have to click manage fuel to manage fuel on the manage fuel page? Like, who designed this stuff? And why do we show total mass if we can't manage our mass here? The only place we can manage our mass is in the EFB. They still didn't update the thing when you wash it. Look at that, look how dirty it is. Okay, so I need to post a bug report on the PC-12, and I can link to the video so they can see. Whoa, look at those flowers.
To all passengers, boarding is now authorized. On behalf of our captain, welcome aboard.
Roger that, Captain. They're on their way. Have a good flight.
Big flowers.
Be welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Captain. I'll need to make some calls. I hope the signal hold up. If you could make sure it's good, I'd really appreciate, Captain. Thanks.
Forgot how much I didn't like these people. Okay. Let's get the pens out. Guess we want strobe on Ellie. We don't want bleed on is what we don't want.
Hello, everyone. Please give your warmest welcome to our passenger, Mr. Garnett. He's comes highly recommended by one of our top clients. The service must be impeccable. Our 5-star reputation precedes us. Have a great flight.
Tree November traffic. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111 is taxiing to runway 9er. Tree November traffic.
Wait, who do we got? We got 3 in the back. So we're looking at 1768. It's pretty warm now, but we will probably get some anti-ice on when we take off. I can never find this parking brake. I'm just gonna do the keyboard thing.
Passengers, on behalf of our flight team, we would like to welcome you on board flight DSC-4111 bound for Teterboro. Our flight time will be 23 minutes. We expect an on-time departure, and we're currently ready for takeoff. I will keep you informed of any key updates as we go through the flight. Thank you.
Whoa.
Tree November traffic. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Taking off runway 9er. South departure. Tree November traffic. Good afternoon to all passengers. This is your captain speaking. On behalf of First Class Wings, I would like to welcome you on board flight DSC-4111 bound for Teterboro. Estimated flight time to Teterboro is 23 minutes. To prepare for takeoff, please ensure your seat belt is fastened tightly, your seat is in the upright position, and your tray table is securely stored. Thank you, and get ready for a wonderful flight.
And we're off. Gears up. Flaps coming up.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111 is type 1 miles east of Tree November, 300 feet. Request flight following.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111, Dover approach. Squawk 2217.
Squawk 2217, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Radar contact 2 miles north of Tree November, 1,300 feet. Altimeter Tree 007.
Roger, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Dover approach, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111, 3 miles southwest of Delta Echo 04, 3,100 feet. Request IFR to Teterboro, ready to copy.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111 is cleared to Teterboro Airport as filed. Squawk 2217.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111 cleared to Teterboro Airport as filed. Squawk 2217.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Read back correct. Radar contact 4,600 feet. Altimeter Tree 008, turn left heading 275. Resume own navigation. Climb and maintain 12,000 feet.
Turn left heading 275. Proceed on course. Climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111, contact Washington Center on 125.45. Good day.
125.45. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Washington Center, altimeter Tree 008. Radar contact, continue. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111, contact Washington Center on 1 tree, 2.525. Good day.
One tree 2.525. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111.
I hope it doesn't actually want me to fly to Swan.
4111 is at 7,600 feet, climbing 12,000 feet.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111, Washington Center, altimeter tree 009er, radar contact continue.
Hoping it switches off Swan when we get close enough up here. I don't want to have to fly all the way back there.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Passengers, glad to be your captain today. First, I'd like to welcome everyone on behalf of First Class Wings on flight DSC 4111. We are currently cruising at an altitude of 11,100 feet and an airspeed of 150 knots. It's 1:51 p.m. and are expecting to land in Teterboro approximately at 4:57 a.m. local time. Current temperature of 64 degrees Fahrenheit. If the weather cooperates, we should get a great view of the area as we descend. I'll update you before we reach our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight.
So, what do you think? Are we going to have to go back to Swan? Yeah, maybe we should.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Climb and maintain 12,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111.
I guess we're gonna go back to Swan. Oh. Okay, it did catch up. Okay, we got to fly vectors from here over to Dandy.
Vertical track.
Really? I'm not going to start a descent right now, but we'll see what happens. Worst case, we'll circle around the airport and then get lined up. There's no way we need that far to descend from 12,000 feet, though. I do wish they would add request descent on here.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111, contact New York Center on 1 tree, 5.45. Good day.
1 tree 5.45 for Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. New York Center, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111, 12,000 feet.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. New York Center, altimeter tree 012. Radar contact, continue to Eileen. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Contact New York Center on 124.625. Good day.
124.625 for Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. New York Center, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111, 12,000 feet.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. New York Center, altimeter tree 012. Radar contact continue. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Descend and maintain 11,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111.
What? Why is this plane doing it too?
Vertical track.
Should be going down to 7 here. Let's see what ATC has us do. Hard there on the sim rate. Okay, that's 2x for now.
Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Expect ILS Zulu runway 6 approach via Sierra Bravo Juliet transition. Clear to Sierra Bravo Juliet.
This thing is so broken. I keep sending us
Climb
up
and
to
maintain
12, down to
12,000
11,
feet.
up to
Expect
12,
Isla
down to
Zulu
11,
runway.
up to
6
12,
approach,
down
5
to 11.
Sierra Bravo Juliet transition. Cleared to Sierra Bravo Juliet. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Descend and maintain 5,300 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,300 feet. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Passengers, Teterboro has just cleared us for landing. Please take a moment to check that your seatbelt is fastened as we are starting our descent. Thank you.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Contact New York Center on 1-tree-decimal-15. Good day.
Going to 1-tree-decimal-15. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. New York Center, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111 is passing 9,800 feet, descending 5,300 feet.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. New York Center, altimeter tree 012, radar contact, continue to MALCN.
What? Have an MALCN. Nice cloud layers there.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Descend and maintain 2,800 feet.
Descend and maintain 2,800 feet. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111.
Bings. So 145 is a good speed because
Delta Sierra
you can drop your
Charlie
flaps.
4111. Contact New York Center on 118.975. Good day.
Going to 118.975. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. New York Center, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111, 2,800 feet.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. New York Center, altimeter 3014, radar contact. Continue to VNGS. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Descend and maintain 2,100 feet.
Descend and maintain 2,100 feet. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111.
Seeing some ground out there, I think. Pretty stiff crosswind for now. If I get flaps down. We're not supposed to hit the approach button until we're cleared for the approach. So hopefully we get cleared here pretty soon, or we get at least a lower altitude. Otherwise we're going to be chasing the glide slope down.
Sierra Charlie 4111. Contact Teterboro Tower on 119.5 when inbound.
Tower on 119.5. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Teterboro Tower, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. 10 miles southwest, inbound Isla Zulu runway 6 approach.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Teterboro Tower, altimeter tree 014. Cleared ILS Zulu runway 6 approach.
Vertical track.
Cleared ILS Zulu runway 6 approach. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111.
Okay, VNAV's armed, we got our altitude dialed down. I descended manually, I probably shouldn't have. So I stopped.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Wind 077 at 6. Cleared to land runway 6.
Alright, we are cleared to land.
Cleared to land runway 6. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111.
Still cannot arm the approach. Now we should be able to. Why can we not arm the approach? Okay. Alright, 3 greens on the gear.
500.
trying to kill me here. Yoke is also trying to kill me. I'll take it.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 4111. Did you copy?
I didn't copy because there was nothing to copy.
4111. Turn next taxiway.
Be nice if you told me left or right. You said turn next taxiway. This thing is such a liar. So buggy.
To all passengers, welcome to Teterboro. Local time is 2:21 p.m. For your safety, the captain has requested that you remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until we come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Please make sure you take all your belongings with you when you get off. On behalf of the entire company, we would like to thank you for choosing first class wings. We look forward to seeing you again and wish you a pleasant stay in Teterboro.
What? Look how far away that is. You think I'm driving 10 knots to get over there? You're insane. Especially after you've already dinged me for everything I didn't do. I'm gonna actually do some things now. As if I did that for anything but just to do it. I made 25 million on a mission the other day. I'm not flying real missions for 200,000. Okay, still buggy. But I guess it was something to do. I'm gonna head out. Have a good night. Catch y'all.